Coming up next, I'm going to help those of you that are facing retirement deal with how to deal with that retirement boredom. What do you do? And then what other people are saying was the key to their job, the dream job, and then your calls. And it all starts right now. All right, here we go. Coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville. This is the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you discover what you were born to do and then come up with a plan to make that a reality. Coming up in just a moment, it's going to address something I didn't realize this was a thing. I get a lot of calls and emails about post-retirement boredom. What do I do now? So we'll address that in just a moment. Then coming up later, as I said, we're going to dive into some real-life stories of people who are making the move this year. Again, I see headlines every day. They just keep coming like waves on the ocean. People are quitting, people are quitting, people are quitting. The opportunity is really, really good right now. And despite what the news media is going to try to do to scare you into, they're going to try to scare you into shutting this economy down again. Leaders, please hold on. But despite all of that, the job opportunities are plentiful. And coming out of COVID, people are saying, hey, I want more than a job. And that's what this show is about. You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. You are needed. You must do it. So we want to help you figure that out. So let's dive into this. So for those of you who are thinking about retirement, maybe you're 2, 3, 5 years away, so you've got an eye towards it. Some of you are on the cusp of it. Maybe you're retiring this year. Some of you have already retired and you're going, I didn't love my gig. I liked it. I didn't love it. Some of you are going, I hated it. Couldn't wait to get out. Regardless of what you felt prior to retiring, now that you've retired, you're going, I need something to do. I can only play so much golf or bunco or whatever it is people do when they're retired. And I resonate with that because I'm going to tell you, this is all subject to change, but retirement for me is going to be I work a little bit less. That's me. That's just me. Because I want to be doing something. I want to be coaching. I want to be communicating on some level to somebody. Even if it's at the golf clubhouse, Joe. Even if I'm just holding court there. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? Like, if I'm going to play a lot of golf or whatever, I'm going to have to, pontificate about something. And I don't think that the golf course guys is going to be enough for me. Okay? So if you're in that zone, I want to talk to you for a second. Because it's no different than what I teach you now or what I teach people who are trying to figure out what they're supposed to do with their life. Here's the reality. You're in a new season and you've got more freedom than you've ever had at any point in your life because you've chosen to retire. So you have planned for this. You've got retirement income, whatever that looks like. You've got that. So now you've got some options. A, you've got time. And B, you don't need the money, presumably. So now that I've got more time and I don't need a whole lot of money, I think this is the time to, on some level, really take a shot. Take a shot. Now, there's a reason I chose that wording. I love sports. I love sports metaphors because I love sports. I didn't say take a big old risk because you're in retirement. What I said was, take a shot. Take a shot. Let me play this out. So, I don't know if you're like me, but I am very cynical about the carnival area at all the theme parks. My wife and kids and I, we were just at the theme park. You've all been to many theme parks. There's always a section in any theme park, whether it's a really crappy one or it's the super nice one at Disney. They've always got a section. It's the carnival area. And you got people barking out going, hey, take your shot over here. And the one, and it's like you're playing for a giant stuffed animal that in the moment for some people, not this guy, seems like a really great idea. I make a shot and I give my kid or my wife or my girlfriend a giant stuffed animal. And 10 minutes later, after the wind is worn off, you're like, I got to drag this stupid thing around all day. I mean, come on. We've all either done that or see some doofus who has done that. All right. Everybody gets that. And we also have seen the 2020 exposés on those. If you haven't, you need to look them up on YouTube. It's like the rim is smaller than a regular rim. So you guys out there who think you're great shooters, let me save you some time and money. Oh, yeah, I can drain that shot, and my girlfriend's going to think I'm awesome. It's like there's a whole thing. Like the rims are super tight. It's like smaller. I've seen stuff on this. Same thing with the little pea shooters or whatever it is. So the point is it's stacked up for the carnival people to win. They're getting your dollars, and even when you miraculously win, that stuffed animal cost them 14 cents. It's all stacked in their favor. So I'm not a fan of the little carnival things, but for this analogy, it holds. You're walking by, hey, step right up, take your shot. So what are you doing there? Not a lot of money being risked, even if you waste your $4 or whatever it is to shoot 3 basketballs, whatever it is. You are taking a shot. You're going, there's no major risk here. I'm not going to leave my lunch money here. I'm not going into debt for this. You know what? I'm going to take a shot. So whatever it is, or if you're at the county fair and you walk by the dunking booth, that's one of my favorite, Joe. And you got we've done this at Ramsey Solutions. You know, I was in the dunking booth one time and I'm hurling insults at my coworkers just to try to get them to throw a softball, hit the thing and dunk me, and everybody has big fun. Same thing there. Come on, take a shot. Come on, what do you got? Take a shot. This is the mentality that I want you to have in retirement. And this is, again, assuming financially that you're in good shape. You've got retirement. You don't need to work for money. Now it truly is do something that I've always maybe wanted to do, but I couldn't do or didn't do. Or I'm just going to do something that I really love. And I'm not going to do it as a career. Maybe I love teaching. So I'm going to be a substitute teacher. I may work 8 times in 1 year. No big deal. But I've always wanted to do it. And I'm going to be the substitute teacher that comes in and doesn't just babysit. I'm going to get the lesson plan and I'm going to teach like my life depended on it. It's just one example. But I want you to take a shot at something and come back to what I teach every day on the show. What you're talented at this point in your career, but you can look at your talents and go, what are these premium tools that I have? What kind of work would I love to do? Because I don't need to work for a check anymore. Now it's just I enjoy the work. And the result of the work fills my heart. That's talent, passion, mission. Use what you do best to do work you love, to produce results that matter to you. In this season of your life, the last season, or maybe the last season of work, and then there's one other season. Whatever you think about it, do something that you love, that creates a result that matters deeply to you. Take a shot, because you can walk away. You can try 8, 9, 10, 12, 20 different shots. Don't stop contributing. And we'll see the health effects. That's the mental, emotional health, the physical health. As you wind down in a season of retirement, you can still keep that heart fully engaged. Don't shut down. Now's the time to engage in ways that you never would have before, because you can. 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. I look down here on my desk, and I know Joe's seen it because he stacks it up here every day, but I got myself a red pencil to highlight my notes with an eraser. Never before have I had a red pencil with an eraser. Now, if you're new to the show, you got to know I love pencils. That is my primary writing tool. They promote creativity because I'm not worried about erasing it. But when you get a red pencil with an eraser, now this is a special day. So I think good things are going to happen. Very exciting stuff. Here we go to the phones. Denver, Colorado, line 1. We've got Danielle. That's how you say that? Very nice. Danielle, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how's it going?
I am living the dream. What's going on with you?
So I was kind of curious. I've been working in sales probably for about the last 10, 12 years, and I'm kind of in a niche market that only exists in a few places, mostly northern states, and I'm not trying to really deal with the snow anymore. I can move to another place that has a lower cost of living, as well as not be, snowing on me every year. And but I would have to move out of the niche that I'm in, basically to take a job that really doesn't speak to me, but it still would pay me, about the same, but it would be more in manufacturing or something along those lines. I'm trying to find out what your opinion is as far as should I continue in the niche that I'm in, kind of tough it out and just keep, stacking back money, or should I transition over into another industry that I'm not as passionate about, but I can still make the same kind of money while still giving me the lifestyle that I'd be a little more comfortable with as far as the temperature and the location.
Okay. So if I've got this right, you're considering leaving work that you love, which I define as passion, because you're sick of the cold weather and the snow.
Well, so it's more of a lifestyle exchange. I don't really get to live the lifestyle that I enjoy, but I do get to do the work that I enjoy.
I understand. I feel like you just said that a different way than I said it. But what else am I missing? Besides the cold weather, what do you mean by the lifestyle? I need to know this.
Basically, I make good money. However, half of that good money basically goes out the door to bills and expenses because the cost of living here is as high as it is. Moving to a place that I'm a little more familiar with as far as like the temperature and the area,
okay.
I'd be able to have more time for friends and family and things that I enjoy,
okay,
but not as much.
Okay, so what do you do right now? Can you be specific? What do you sell?
So I'm actually in the medical industry. We do more with cannabis and cannabis derivatives for healthcare patients.
So are you a salesperson? If
I am.
Okay. And so you're saying where you want to move to, you can't be a cannabis salesperson there?
So it's not legal everywhere. Unfortunately, it's only in a few states as far as it's overall, and most of those states are going to be your northern states.
Oh, no, I get it, brother. I'm paying attention to the news. Okay, so here's the deal. This is not a clear-cut answer for me, because if you go take another sales job and you sell something that you're not passionate about, so you love sales, yes or no?
I do.
Yeah, so you're good at sales. So we've got the talent and the passion part. I just think if you go sell some manufacturing product, it's not going to be super missional for you.
Exactly.
But that to me, if it's not a wrong answer, but because of the lifestyle change, cutting expenses, all the other things, then I'm fine with this move. Because you love selling, because you're good at it's talent and passion. So if you can learn to see the mission in whatever sales job, if you can go, hey, that is a connection to me. No matter what I'm selling, there's a connection there. Then I'm fine with it, yes. But if you were to tell me you hated sales, then I'd say you're going to eventually get miserable. But that's not the case with you. You love selling. So I think a person who loves selling can find the missional part in anything they sell. That I believe. Because there is value in what you're selling. True or false?
True.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. But if you had told me you don't love selling, I'd go, no, because you're going to be miserable. And you get that miserable, you're going to want to sample that product you used to sell. So we don't want any of that either. Okay? So,
right.
Yeah, in this situation, by the way, that was a joke. The people out in the lobby got that. Danielle did not laugh at that at all. There he is. So, yeah, I'm fine with it because this is an overall lifestyle decision. So, yeah, as long as you're selling, because you're passionate about selling and you're good at it, then that's fine. Figure out a value connection on mission, results that matter to you. And really, to be honest with you, there are 6 missional values that are in this new assessment we're bringing out very soon. They are achievement, creation, efficiency, influence, service, and solution. And I think for you, you love selling. There's an achievement missional result that fires you up. And I think that you see the solution side of things in anything you sell. It's a solve, and you love providing a solution. Is that true or false?
Of course.
All right, good. So that's all you got to do there is just find something that you sell. You go, okay, I can still see the value connection, and I'm fine with that. 844-747-2577 is the number. Incidentally, I'm with Danielle on this one. I would never live in a place as cold as Denver or any place that gets that kind of snow. I'm just not interested. If I only see snow once a year by me going somewhere, or I watch it in a Christmas movie because my wife is all into the Hallmark Christmas movies, I'm fine with that. I'm not anti-snow, Joe, but I like to sweat. I'd rather sweat than shake. There it is.
I'm with you there.
I agree. I don't like to be cold. It's just I don't like it. All right, let's go to Smyrna. Boy, Smyrna. We'll go to Delaware where Whitney joins us. Whitney, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
I'm living the dream, Whitney. What's up?
I'm a registered nurse that is working in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And through this pandemic, I've been pretty burnt out.
Yeah.
And not feeling like support is there leadership-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm torn because I have a residency contract, and if I don't stay the 2 years or allotted hours, I have to pay probably somewhere between $3,000 or $4,000.
Oh.
But I really feel like my mental health is suffering,
Yep.
and I'm not happy where I'm at, and I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I became a nurse for a reason, so kind of stuck between a hard place.
How much time do you have left on that contract?
I've been there about a year.
So you have a year, if I understood you right?
Yes.
A year left.
Yes.
What specifically is sucking the soul out of you?
We're short-staffed. I work on a geriatric unit, and so it's sometimes a little aggressive, and just dealing with high acuity patients and multiple ones, and the support and the short staff.
Yeah, so it's not the work. It's the
No,
burden.
I love being a nurse.
It's the burden of the work. You love people. You love being a caretaker. It's just so much. You feel like you're drinking from a fire hydrant, right? Yeah. Well, here's the reality. You can walk away and get yourself in a better environment where you're not short-staffed and you're not just trying to hang on, because the reality is the mental and emotional toll is something you can't keep this up forever. And I'll address another potential strategy in a second. But the first option is you find another nursing position. Maybe you get a bump. Maybe you get the same amount of money. And you take the financial hit, but you got to save up for it. I don't want you to be in the hole. I don't want you to walk away and then look back on this thing and go, man, it sucked the life out of me and I got to pay this thing back. So that's one option. The other option, there's three options. The other option is you stick it out for a year. And the way you're able to do that really is the third option, where you go, okay, I'm going to have to find a way to have an outlet so that when I'm working these crazy hours or whatever, I've got something going on after work, outside of work, where I've got counseling, friends or family, exercise, really work on my nutrition. I've got to do everything I can to maybe get the physical energy where the emotional energy isn't, because a lot of this is emotional, and then it becomes physical. True or false?
True.
Yeah. So it's like, how do I hang on for a year? What would need to be true? Because you're in a situation where leadership hasn't fixed the problem yet. Are they aware that there is a problem and that they need to fix it, or is it just kicking the can down the road?
They're aware. Unfortunately, a lot of people are just quitting instead of hanging on, and so that obviously drives it up.
Yeah, it's making it worse.
Yeah.
So what happens is are those people, are they paying a fee for breaking their contract, or are they leaving after this is done?
Most of those are seasoned nurses, and they're out of the time frame for the contract.
Yeah. So I'm okay if you pay the thing. You're just going to have to save up for it. I don't want it to be a financial stressor for you. But I mean, I got to tell you, I wish I had some beautiful advice here. But I mean, you're kind of in a thing where you take a financial hit, so it is what it is. So if I'm you, I'm focusing on option 3. I'm going to do some things that allow me to change my physical health, and I'm going to have a mindset change. I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to go, here are my feelings. I got to address these feelings.
I've even talked about going part-time just to offset the burden.
Yeah, but that's a form of taking a hit too. So I look at that and I run the numbers on that. If you move to part-time, what's the, I mean, and then you take the hit for leaving, you're taking a hit one way or the other.
Mhm.
I didn't know that was an option, but sure.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Obviously, it's a cut in pay,
But it's not a lump sum.
Like Christy said, you pick what you can handle.
That's exactly right. I'm with you. Yeah, I didn't realize that you could go to part-time. That is a better option because then it allows you to fulfill your obligation, right? And you don't have this lump sum penalty, but you're going to have to adjust the budget. But you know what? That might be easier. It might be easier to adjust the budget than it is to do all the mental and emotional and spiritual exercises to just keep you in this grind. I think that's a viable option. I mean, look, if this is Stacy, my wife, we're sitting down and we're doing a good old-fashioned pros and cons. Pros for going part-time, cons for going part-time. Pros for staying, cons for staying. Pros for leaving outright, cons for leaving outright. You got 3 scenarios there. And it's not Ken Coleman's call, but you got to do what's best, and what's best brings in the financial along with the emotional, the mental, and the relational piece. So you guys got this. I feel like you got a good head on your shoulder. If you're calling me for permission, I give you permission.
Thank you.
Is that what you were calling for?
You had a podcast last week that kind of confirmed about, like, asking for help, and that's something we're afraid of doing, and it just made me want to call.
Good. But, I mean, I think you've got to address this. You're not crazy. And so I think you got to pick the best option for you.
Yes, I agree.
So my point is, don't be afraid to leave. Don't be afraid to stick it out. Don't be afraid to back down to part-time. None of those options are bad. And all of them have potential positives to it. Although you got to work really hard on scenario 2 to find some positives, right?
Yes.
So I think you got to do what's best for you, and you're going to come out ahead. So really proud of you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for the call. 844-747-2577. So if you're like Whitney, or no matter what your situation, you're going, I'm ready to move on. But it's so scary. It's so yucky to jump into the job search. This is why I'm partnered with ZipRecruiter.com, the #1 job site in the world. Their candidates are 3 times more likely to get hired. Here's why. Massive, massive database of companies that are looking for talent. And it's free to you. It doesn't cost you a dime. There is no catch. You go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, fill out a profile. The minute you hit go, they start actively matching up your profile with jobs that fit for you. When a company sees your profile and go, hey, we're interested, they contact you directly. The company does. They say apply. How less yuck and suck does that feel? It's really nice. And did I mention it's free? Why wouldn't you do it? It's another arrow in your quiver, and it costs you nothing. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Okay, quick break. When we come back, some interesting profiles from the Wall Street Journal of young people who are making great moves into purposeful work. That and more coming up.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. For those of you that are watching live right now on YouTube, at about 12:24 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining us live. Give us a like and a subscribe and a share if the show's helping you out. Also, for those of you that are watching whenever, because so many people watch on demand, thank you for joining us as well. Remember, we have an audio version of the show via podcast, and we're live on SiriusXM and not live in all stations, but over 75 talk radio stations around the country as well. So thank you for joining us. All right, let's get to it. Here's some good news. We call it In the News. Wall Street Journal headline, 5 professionals in their mid-20s share how they landed their dream jobs. Well, this is the kind of news I want to see more of. And by the way, to the Wall Street Journal editors or headline editors, good on you. This is a very positive headline, and people will click on this because everybody wants to know either A, what their dream job is, or how to get there. So good on you. So just going to highlight a few of these. Sergio Santamaria is a data analyst for the Detroit Pistons. For you non-NBA fans, the Detroit Pistons, a franchise in the National Basketball Association. I love this. Childhood obsession with basketball led Sergio to study sports management and data science. He interned with the NBA's Houston Rockets, where he tracked stats, filmed games, contributed scouting reports, and wiped down the floor. I love this stuff. This is how you get in. The internship for the Houston Rockets. He's already in with an NBA franchise, and he probably wasn't making much at all, and he did whatever it took. And this is a quote from him. He said, I knew the NBA was shifting more and more towards analytics and technology, and I knew having those skills would serve me well. But he got in, did all those things, and got the opportunity. How about Cheyenne Chappell? She's a set dressing technical director with Pixar. Now, as I roll through these, understand these are very young people with very little experience working for big-time brands, big-time companies where there is a ladder. So Cheyenne always loved disappearing into the immersive worlds of animated movies and games. Now she is a set modeler and dresser for Walt Disney's Pixar Animation Studio. She builds the digital assets, buildings, vehicles, landscapes that are on the screen as we're watching these awesome, movies and stories. Josh Belinsky, co-founder of a company called Slate Milk. Mr. Belinsky started working as a golf caddy when he was 8. After a string of internships, there's that pesky word again. I don't know how to catch a break. Go intern or volunteer. I say that, and they'll put this video on Instagram, and people will take a shot at me and go, how dare you? How dare you suggest that someone work for free? You idiots. I'm not even going to try to convince you anymore. I didn't say work for free your whole life. It's called getting in. It's what an intern, it is. If it's a paid internship, good on you. But people attack me for saying this kind of stuff. It's how I got in. Sometimes you got to go in and volunteer or get a unpaid internship and it gets you in. No, that's wrong. That's terrible. No, it's not. It's how you get in when there's not a position. Ah, jeez. Back to this fantastic young man. A string of internships and a job at a tech startup during college. He was well positioned for a successful sales career after graduation. Instead, and I love this, he decided to launch his own business in 2018 that makes ultra-filtered, lactose-free chocolate milk. We need to have this for one of my Tuesday Juice Days, where I sample an unknown beverage that is supposedly good for you and give you energy. I'll be honest, I'd try some lactose-free chocolate milk. I don't know that I'd like it, but I would try it. Madeline Ferkser, Special Projects Associate, college internship. Are you doing this on purpose? Are you guys giving me the art just to make me feel really affirmed in what I teach? I'm kidding. College internship allowed the sociology major, Madeline Ferkser, to work in a criminal justice reform environment. But after graduation, pressure led her to accept a role that turned out to be a bad fit. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But the internship, she went after the criminal justice thing, but after the internship, it helped her get a job at Just Leadership USA, where the best part of her day is working with a broad group of colleagues who are passionate about mitigating the effects of sickness on people that are in prison. So she goes a different direction, same overall space, but instead of the legal prosecution side of things, she's in serving people that are incarcerated. That's a same area, but a pretty big shift All her friends and family told her to go one way for the safe job, the good benefits. She tries it. It's not a good fit. Interns, falls in love with an organization. That, again, is how we get more clarity. And then let's do one more. Gabriella Lanouette is a full-stack machine learning engineer. I don't even know what that means, but she's really smart and she's in technology. At Orbis International, which is an international nonprofit focused on preventing and treating blindness and eye diseases in developing countries. So this is where a simple eye disease that would be pretty overcomable, that's not a word, I just made it up, here in the United States, really struggle, a big deal, could really flatten somebody's life and hold them back in a developing third world nation. So there she is. She's on a team that develops algorithms. Now listen to this, you techies. She develops algorithms for the company's telemedicine platform. She's not doing anything with the eyes. But because of her tech skills, she's supporting the company's mission so that clinicians on the ground use the tool to diagnose eye diseases like diabetic retinopathy and glaucoma. Everyone needs help on their computer, no matter what their job is. She said, I was hired full-time in the engineering department because I was able to meet people in that department, and now she is developing algorithms that make the whole thing work. This is a nonprofit. I've said a million times on this show, technology is everywhere. I don't care if it's in ministry, to nonprofit, to obviously government, to big business. Technology jobs are everywhere and they're not going anywhere. And I'm just going to tell you, I didn't plan to talk about them, but this is why BethelTech.net is the location that you need to go. If you are interested or you think your kid wants a career in technology, but you look at the cost of a degree for a technology degree is $180,000. And if you call Bethel Tech, go to BethelTech.net, not .com, BethelTech.net, and ask them about their program. Here it is. It's a 9-month program. For everybody else, it's $15,000. For the Ken Coleman Show audience, if you cash flow your way through it, they could save you from $1,500 to $2,500 off of that. 9 months doing it from home online for less than $15,000, and their placement program has an 80% placement rate, making $75,000 starting out in technology. Bethel Tech. Call them. Kick the tires. If they're not for you, go find another tech school. You don't have to get a 4-year degree to get in tech and be a programmer and change the world through technology. Come on, parents. Get over your status symbol that you've placed on the college degree. What does your kid want to do? How does the kid get the opportunity to do that? Who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares? I was at a barbecue yesterday evening. School function with my kids. And several dads were sitting at the table eating barbecue. And I got to tell you, it was really nice to hear some dads go. A couple dads were like, yeah, I don't think my kid's going to college. He's got this path. He's got this path. And I feel good about it. Boy, it's really nice to see this. There is a stigma in America that has been placed on us by higher education and their government cronies and all their slick marketing professionals that have told you and me and people for generations that the best way to be successful is to go to college, and that's not always true. Wake up, parents. Wake up. I'm going to get to momentum in a second, Joe, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to ad-lib something because I want to share this. So on Friday, my social media team, now listen to me, parents, and those of you that are in the teaching profession. On Friday afternoon, on my Instagram page, and I'm sure they did it on Facebook as well, they posted a clip of our In the News segment recently, and the headline read this: Is the American education system broken? Well, of course it is. In which I read from an article about how many teachers are quitting. It's just straight out of the news, and I list the data. So over the weekend, this thing is getting a lot of comments from teachers. I want to read to you. You can go watch the post. But I want you to I want to read some comments in the post from teachers. Thank you, Ken. This is Barbie Roman. Thank you, Ken, for advocating for us teachers. I admire how you respect and understand the value of our profession. She's just thanking me for saying, hey, The system's broken and it's burning our teachers out because they're doing stuff that they didn't sign up for. They're not allowed to teach. All the pressures on standardized testing. They do all this paperwork. They're working crazy hours. They love kids. They got in it to influence kids. Here's another one. One Sassy Mama. I love these usernames, by the way. It always cracks me up. As a teacher, I agree with this 100%. I'm slowly burning out. It's because of the system and how unimportant they continue to make us feel. I'm not sure how much longer I can go. You hearing this? And I feel bad for the students who will suffer. Amy D., speaking as a burnt-out teacher after just 1 year. Yes, in all caps. It's broken. Out of all teachers I have worked with since student teaching in my first year, I've not met one educator who would disagree. Let's see. Another teacher, M. Peasy. We had to do standardized testing in the middle of a pandemic. Someone, please, make it make sense. Niffer, 120. I decided to leave teaching at the end of this school year. I've worked in education for 18 years, but I was burned out. 24 Mojo. I'm almost in tears because it feels good to hear someone who finally gets it. I'm 17 years into teaching, and I was tired a long time ago. I had to spend money on a therapist this school year after developing stress and anxiety from the pandemic. And she goes on and on and on. Deb Maps. Thanks for being our voice. What's sad is that the American standards are benchmark, and that means it's a global thing just like the pandemic. Whimsical from Australia, says Joe. It's very similar in Australia. So many reports of burnout and teachers leaving the profession. Elsa Dale Coaching from England. I hear you. It's the same here in the UK. Pam Carter Cook. I retired this year because of all the testing pressure on the students all the testing pressures that the students are put through. If I made my point, Joe, have I sufficiently hit the horse from 8 different directions? The reason I'm doing this is because I'm just getting started on this. And Amanda, I'm bringing this up. We're going to do some type of teacher town hall live on YouTube. That's my goal. I got to sit down with the team and figure this out. But we're going to start banging the drum on this because this is a crime that this is happening in America. And clearly it's happening in Australia and England. And it's the bureaucratic approach to education. And it has taken the focus off of the main thing. And there's so many other reforms that need to come along with it. Parents, if you believe this, if you agree with me, go to Instagram, like the post, share the post. That's what I'm asking you to do. Because this was on a Friday afternoon, and I can just tell you, videos we post on a Friday afternoon, they just, it did very well, a lot of comments. But the outcry from teachers. So I'm asking those of you who are watching now or watching later, if you agree with me on this, go to my Instagram account, @Ken Coleman, like the post, share the post, comment on the post if you agree, and then email us, ask@kencoleman.com. If you're a teacher and you haven't seen the post or the clip, go watch it. Email me. If you're willing to go public and say, hey, this is the reality, I want to know. Because I know some of you might comment on an Instagram post, but maybe you won't go beyond that, and that's okay. But if you're willing to validate what I already know to be true and let me come alongside and put some fuel on this fire, I would appreciate it. Ask@kencoleman.com, because I'm telling you, I want to disrupt the American education system. It's time. It's broken. You know it as parents, and I know it. And yet we do nothing about it. It's 2021. We could turn this thing on its ear in a heartbeat. Who's with me? Ask@kencoleman.com. All right, my time is almost up. I'm going to skip momentum today, Joe, because we got our schedule, and that needed to be said. You matter. You have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.